So let's get right into it. We're going to unpack 4 really powerful parables. And they're not about small things. They tackle the big ones, the fundamental trials we all face, things like faith, wealth, knowledge, and power.
Our journey kicks off with the story that actually gives the chapter its name. It's all about a group of young believers who are up against this huge test of faith, facing serious persecution just for what they believed in.
To hold on to their belief in one God, these young men had to flee their city. I mean, think about that. They left everything they knew behind to go hide in a dark, empty cave, putting all their trust in a higher power to get them through.
And you've got to hear what they asked for. They didn't ask for safety or money or for their enemies to be defeated. Nope. They just asked for mercy and guidance. That's it. Their only goal was to stay on the right path.
So, their prayer was answered, but in a way that no one could have ever seen coming. They were put into a deep sleep that lasted for 309 years. Yeah, you heard that right. An entire sleep that stretched on while generations were born and died outside their little cave.
And when they finally opened their eyes, their entire world had been turned upside down. The very belief system they had to hide in a cave to protect was now the faith of the entire country. Their personal struggle had become this amazing public testament to their conviction.
All right, so from faith, we move to our next story. And this one tackles a trial that, let's be honest, a lot of us can relate to. The test of having wealth and that dangerous arrogance that can so easily come with it. So you've got this classic tale of 2 friends. One of them is blessed with these 2 incredible, thriving gardens, and he gets super arrogant about it. He's convinced he earned it all himself. His friend, the pious one, gently tries to remind him, hey, remember where these blessings really come from. He's just trying to get him to be grateful.
But, he doesn't listen. And then, in a single night, disaster strikes. Those beautiful gardens he was so proud of are just wiped out, gone. And all he's left with is regret and the hard lesson that none of it was ever really his to control in the first place.
Now this next trial is really interesting because it's different. It's not about what's going on outside of you or what you own. It's all about the internal challenge of knowledge and really understanding the limits of what we, as humans, can grasp. And this is all told through a journey taken by the prophet Moses.
So Moses goes looking for this super wise man known as Al-Qadrir, hoping to learn a kind of wisdom that comes directly from God. He promises he'll be patient, that he won't ask any questions. A promise that, as you can probably guess, is going to be pretty tough to keep when he sees what Al-Qadrir does next.
Okay, so then we get the big reveals. First, the boat. Why damage it? Well, it turns out there was a tyrant king up ahead seizing every single good ship he could find. So that little bit of damage actually saved the poor fishermen from losing their boat and their entire livelihood. It was a small sacrifice to prevent a total disaster.
Then comes the most shocking part, the young boy. This is the one that's really tough to swallow, right? But the explanation is that he was destined to grow up and cause his righteous parents immense pain and lead them astray. So this act, as harsh as it seems, was a kind of mercy for his parents, who God would then bless with a better, more righteous child.
And finally, why fix a random wall in a town that was so rude to them? Simple, because hidden underneath it was a treasure, an inheritance left for 2 orphaned boys. The act of charity was really about protecting their future, all because their father had been a good man. It's this huge lesson, right? That there's often a bigger, divine picture that we just can't see from our limited perspective.
And that brings us to the final trial. And you could argue it's the biggest one of all. The test of having immense power and authority and what you choose to do with it. Use it for justice or for corruption.
So, meet Dhul Qarnayn. He's this incredibly powerful and fair ruler. God has given him the ability to travel all over the world and accomplish amazing things. But his journey isn't about conquest. It's about bringing justice and order wherever he goes. On his travels, he finds a group of people being terrorized by these corrupting forces known as Gog and Magog. They beg him for help. They even offer to pay him to build a wall to protect them. But he turns the money down. Instead, he tells them to help him, to use their own strength. He empowers them, and together they build this massive barrier of iron and copper.
And get this, after this incredible feat of engineering, he takes 0 credit. He doesn't pat himself on the back, doesn't build a monument to his own greatness. Instead, he immediately says, "This is a mercy from my Lord. He understood that real power isn't something you own, it's a trust you've been given.
So, what do we take away from all this? Well, these 4 stories give us a pretty clear guide. From the youths in the cave, we learn that real faith is like a shield. From the guy with the gardens, we learn that wealth is a test of our gratitude. From Moses' journey, that true knowledge demands humility. And from Dhul Qarnayn, that real power is a responsibility.
And that really leaves us with a big question to think about. When you look at our world today, with all of our modern struggles and tests, which of these ancient lessons do we need to hear the most? It just goes to show you that real wisdom, well, it's timeless.